booking process. Is your booking process, is it well-oiled, easy, and simplified? You know, some of you probably so, and some of you, it's probably not. So you have to think about your booking process. Once a client decides on you, how do they book? Do you require them to come in for an in-person consultation? You know, because that's that. Then you got to book them for a consult. Is the consult free? Do you charge for the consult? And then if they book the procedure, you apply the consultation fee to the price of the procedure. I only have consultations come in person for removal, corrections, and areolas. Other than that, brand new eyebrows, brand new eyeliners, I do not have them come in. Lips, brand new lip, I do, because I want to look at that tissue and the undertone of the lip. So you got to think about that. Do you do your consultation in person, or do you do your consultations via email, online? Do you have them send you in pictures and then have a list of questions that could affect them getting tattooed at this time? Like, are they on Accutane? Are they on antibiotics? Or do they have lash extensions on? Have they been in the sun? Do you have a whole list of questions that you email them for to answer yes or no? And then do you require them to send you in pictures? So, you know, because some artists like to consult with all appointments before they actually book them for the procedure. Some do, some don't. Like I said, I will do brand new eyebrows and lips. I send them a set of questions, and I don't necessarily need to see pictures. I just have them come in, and we do the procedure as long as they didn't check anything on that list of questions. And then I have a few other procedures, as I mentioned earlier, that I do want them to come in for an in-person consult. I personally don't charge for a consultation, but some people do, and that's up to you. That's something that you have to consider and decide as a part of your policy and how you're going to run your business. When your clients are ready to book, do you offer online booking? Is it on your website, or do they have to call? How do you do that? We just launched a new website with online booking, and we love it. Our clients love it. So, but it costs money. You know, it's additional fees, additional expenses. But they say online booking increases bookings on average about 15%. Some people are looking through your website. They're right there in the moment. They're excited. They want to book. Bam, they hit the button, and they now have an appointment with you. But we have other processes set up to ensure they're going to be a good client. We take a deposit. All that is automated. So, you know, you have to get those things in place. You know, so I don't know. You know, there's lots of things to think about, especially when you're a new artist. And some of these things that I'm mentioning are more expensive. There's more fees involved. And sometimes when you're a new artist or you're just getting into your new studio, every penny counts. And so these might be things that you want to implement, but they're just not fitting the budget right now. But as you go, you can start implementing them one at a time. So when you do book clients, do you require a deposit? You know, some people require a deposit, some people don't. We do here at Girlz Inc. We require a deposit. What if the client makes a stink about having to pay a deposit? Do you waive it? We don't. And we do get clients that make a stink. You know, they get upset that they have to pay a deposit. But I think deposits keep no-shows down. Every now and then, I think Michonne had one 2 weeks ago. and she had paid a deposit. Isn't that correct? And she no-showed. So the no-shows will still happen, but it does cut them down tremendously, because we do not refund that money. And we don't call it a deposit. It's called a booking fee. If you title it deposit, deposits are refundable. Technically, legally, you have to refund it. But if you title it a booking fee, it's a fee. This is not a deposit. This is a fee we charge you to get into our schedule. And if you no-show, you do not get that fee back. So if they call and they want to schedule again, they apologize. I understand you keep you're keeping the booking fee, and they want to schedule again. Do you charge them another booking fee? What do you think about that, Olivia?
Yes. And I know some of the girls here even charge them the entire procedure, depending on like their no shows. Yeah,
I agree. Yes, charge them another booking fee. And these booking fees, does it all go towards the price of the procedure? Yes. So it's not like you're making a booking fee on top of the procedure fee. We're not gouging clients, and we just want them to show up, because we book 2 hours. Some of you girls using the single needle are booking 3 and 4 hours out of your book to do one client. So when you have that reserved out of your day and you're counting, we count on that income. I can remember how important, it's not that it's still not important to me today, because I still see clients, but years and years ago when I first started and I was broke, I was absolutely broke and had no money. And every procedure, it was paying a bill, it was buying my groceries, and I lived procedure to procedure to procedure. That's when, those hours that you have reserved out of your book become, critical to your well-being and critical to, staying afloat, financially. So you really depend on those clients showing up, doing the service and earning that income. And when they don't show up, it hurts. It can hurt, financially and it's emotional and maybe even a little mental, you get really upset. So charge, I think it's important to charge a booking fee. And then if they don't show up and they want to schedule again, you charge another booking fee. Or, as Olivia mentioned, we have a couple artists in here that will just say, well, if you want to get back in my book, then you have to pay the balance. So the full procedure is paid in advance before that artist will reschedule them. And so I think that's fair. So, either charge them another additional booking fee or just charge them the entire procedure. You charge them the entire procedure, they're going to show up. I had a dancer. This is a funny story, but I had a dancer out here, an exotic dancer. And she was notorious. Worked on her for years and years. And she was notorious for booking. I did her eyebrows. And then just not showing. Did it to me constantly, to the point where I told him I'm not taking her anymore. This is before I required deposits. This is years ago. When I didn't have a lot of policies in place. And I told him I'm not going to work on you anymore. Show me all the time. So she came in and she wrote me a check. This is back when people wrote checks. Wrote me a check for the full procedure. And got in my book. And so I'm like, okay, she's going to show up. She paid for the whole procedure. Do you know she didn't show up? She didn't show up. So then she calls. I'm so sorry, and so, I want to get back in your book, and I'll drop off a check for the full procedure again. Or can you just run a credit card? And I said, no, I got a credit card machine. So I ran her credit card for the full procedure. And do you know she didn't show up?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. I am not. You could not make this up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so the third time she calls, I ran a credit card. So you're talking, this is like $400 for eyebrows back then. And she calls the third time and runs her card. And well, first she says, I'm so sorry. Are you mad at me? I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not mad at you. I said, this has been working out fantastic for me. I mean, I do sit around waiting like 20 minutes or so, and I always did book her at the end of the day. That was the other deal we had. So if she didn't, because if it was in the middle of the day and she didn't show up, then I got 2 hours in the middle of my day. It's like, ugh, right? But at the end of the day, if she didn't show up, well, I got my $400 and I just get to go home early. So that was the deal. And so I ran a credit card again for $400, and she did not show up again. So it was like 4 times. Yeah.
Wow.
So she finally showed up, and I think I got about $1,600 off her. And some of you might be thinking, oh, you should have refunded her some of that when she finally showed up. No. She was an exotic dancer here in Vegas, and she made no bones about it. And she made a lot of money. She talked about the money she made. And the reason she didn't show up a lot is because, she got herself, a whale. That's what, sometimes they call them, is whales, like someone with a lot of money. So, she's not going to keep her brow procedure with me if in the course of her workday, she came across a client or a customer that was going to spend a lot of money, with her or on her. Sometimes they took her shopping, and whatnot. So, hey, I get it. I get it. I'm going to be second fiddle to that. I'm fine with that. So we did work out a really good deal. So it worked out fine. And like I said, this was our deal for many, 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 many years until she moved about 5 years ago. So, if you have clients like that, just work something out with them. Because she was a nice girl. I did enjoy, when she finally did show up, I enjoyed her. And imagine the stories that she had. I mean, she had fantastic stories. So she was super interesting. So those are just something to think about. Lots of things to think about, before the client really even gets to the procedure with you, front desk, callbacks, deposit, no deposit, lots of things to figure out before the client even really gets to the procedure.